What is up, guys, and welcome to the first video of me playing Among Us with some of my friends. So first of all, I'd just like to start off the video by saying thanks so much to all the people who joined me. It was really good to be able to play Among Us with you guys, and it was really fun. So let's just get that out of the way. I'd also like to say we were actually talking on a Discord call at the time of recording. It's a shame all the audio from that is missing from this screen recording video. I don't know how or why. Let me know down in the comments if you might know if there's a reason for that. Anyway, before we get into the video, please remember to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this video. Leave a like on the video. Remember, you can also follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. If you check out the description, there's links to both of those things. And now let's just get on with the video of me playing Among Us with my friends. So you can see a little bit into the game, first dead body is reported. Now the actual conversation about this is all a bit up in the air, obviously, because we were talking the whole time on Discord. So it's kind of a bit complicated to kind of explain how that was going, but we were basically just debating who was the imposter, basically where it might have been, you know, all the usual stuff. So let's just skip down to the voting then and see who was the imposter, if anybody was the imposter. So in the end, I actually skipped the vote along with everybody else, as there was just no evidence to who it might have been or where it might have been. So in the end, nobody was ejected, so the game just goes on. And you can see, starting off, the lights are out. So obviously there are two imposters in this game, and at this point in time, I've just been killed. So that was handy, and you can see the majority of the votes have gone to blue, or cyan as some people refer to it, and as you can see, Simposter was an imposter. So there we go, there's one imposter down, and there's obviously just one to go. Obviously I've barely done any of my tasks by the time the first imposter had been discovered. So you can see we're a bit later on in the game now, and as you can see, yellow has been voted out, and even voted himself, because I think at the time he was a bit, you know, he kind of knew he was gone. So there you go, and it's going to be a victory for us in the first game, even though I died fairly early. Moving on into the next game then, you could see it was a bit of a lag bringing up loading the game. Don't know what that was about, but you can see I'm a crewmate again. Two imposters, because that's just what we were playing. I think there were 9 of us in total, so that's a relatively, you know, sort of not an easy game to guess, if you know what I mean. It's not too easy, you know, to guess if there's not too many imposters. Anyway, I'm just waffling on. Let's just see what happened in this game. So you can see not long afterwards we have yellow being a dead body reported. You can see Will, you know, he was often voted out. The suspicion was around Sparks for this one, because I think everybody was saying that Sparks vented. So I think that was kind of the argument at this point in time. I do kind of remember something happening about that. Let's just go to the voting and see who the imposter actually was. In the end, actually, it was a pretty even vote, because in the end, more people voted to skip. I'm pretty sure I was one of them. Sorry about the notification. Anyway, so we just keep playing the game, and as you can see, fairly soon after this happened, I was just getting into the game, trying to actually get some decent tasks done, because I think the guys were just mucking around a bit and they just called an emergency meeting. I think they were still trying to vote Sparks off, because I think they were pretty convinced that he was the imposter. Let's just see what happens this time. I had no clue either, just too many emergency meetings, we weren't playing enough. In the end, obviously the guys voted for Sparks YouTube 15 or Sparks YT 15, I don't know what it is, and either way, yes, Sparks was an imposter, so there's one down and there's one to go. So obviously at this point we have another emergency meeting. Now this was an interesting one, because this was actually called because people thought that I was suspicious. Now Obviously, you can see on your screen now that I was not the imposter. However, everybody was saying, because I was defending Sparks before by saying he was not the imposter, that everybody thought I was backing up for him, meaning therefore that I was the other imposter, sorry. However, in this instance, I can't speak, you can clearly see I'm not, so I just skipped the vote. Before, I was meaning to say that I had absolutely no evidence of Sparks being suspicious whatsoever. That's why I was sticking up for him. So in the end, I was the only person who skipped and everybody voted for me. And you can see clearly they were wrong. So I was not an imposter and I just have to continue my tasks dead, which means I can float through walls, which is obviously an incredibly normal thing to do. In the end, obviously, you can see I never had a chance to do many tasks even dead because the guys kept calling a meeting, and by this time everyone was sick of it, so we were just skipping the voting, trying to get my tasks done, and now we cut to the end of the game to see that in the end Simposter was the imposter again. So it was the same guy who got it twice in a row, and that concludes this game, where there were too many meetings in my view, but nevertheless we won, so that's the main thing. Moving on to the next game, obviously I actually changed my look to purple, and for some reason I couldn't get the witch's hat even though yellow had it the whole time, which was annoying me because I always used to have the witch's hat when I was playing online. But anyway, moving into this next game, you can see I was having a few issues with the card at this time, but obviously they always say third time lucky. But as you can see, straight away we were getting into this game, and all of a sudden there's this dead body in cafeteria, and then suddenly obviously everybody was popping up there. But it just seemed to me why you would kill so quickly in caf before people have actually got time to sort of run away and do their activities. So that was very, very strange if you ask me. You see, the end of the voting, everybody voted Brown, and in the end, yeah, Brown was ejected, and he actually said on the Discord call that it was him. So yeah, there you go, there was one of us gone already. So now it's just to continue the game and just do our tasks to see if we can actually try and win. It was actually a while before anything else happened. You can see me here just speeding up some of the tasks that I had to do. But in the end, you know, this was a relatively quiet game. Not much happened, you know. I was actually able to do a few tasks for a change. So that was actually nice, because obviously in these games we hadn't had a lot sort of to do. And you can see somehow a bit later on, Simposter was the imposter again, which means we win. Like, that is the biggest streak of imposter I have ever known in all the time I've been playing this game. Now then, this is where things get interesting. So, I am now on a team as an imposter with Sparks, which is gonna be fun because I kinda wanted to do that. Be imposter with Sparks, I don't know why, it was just cool. But anyway, here's me obviously trying to fake some tasks, and Sparks was quick out of the blocks to get a kill there. So yellow is already gone, and you can see actually in the end people skipped the voting because there just wasn't any evidence that we were carrying on, that we were actually doing anything suspicious. So the game just carries on as normal, and now obviously here's me going towards the lights. I don't know where I was going. Obviously, if you're an imposter, you're just going to be running around. And it's a shame that I couldn't sabotage anything at the moment, which was because obviously it was probably just the cooldown window. Nevertheless, you can see we're both here, and I'm just going to pounce now. There we go, and we're going to get our first kill. So there we go, I'm going to run out. I thought people would think I was suspicious in the end, seeing as, you know, there were people coming out as I was running in, but nevertheless, the body gets reported fairly swiftly afterwards. So this is where things start to get interesting. But in the end, because he didn't have time to leave electrical, people voted Sparks, which was kind of a shame. So obviously Sparks was out then because he was the imposter, which just left me to try and win the game, which I have done before a few times, don't get me wrong, but it's always harder when you're on a Discord call, if you know what I mean, because you're actually there speaking to people, so it's sort of harder to cover yourself up. And in this situation, I was absolutely screwed over because obviously I couldn't actually help with the reactor. I just had to sort of stand there and pretend to do it. So this was interesting because this was almost where I thought I would probably get exposed. And there we go, it was about time for me to kill somebody else and just try and win the game for us. But obviously you can see in a second the body gets reported, and now this is obviously my downfall. I just get voted off now because, you know, I wasn't really in the area, and you can see green and black were actually together, so it was clearly obvious now that it was me. So in the end, I'm going to be voted off. And you can see fairly swiftly at the end of the voting, I just voted for black to try my best to cover myself up, but that was impossible and we end up losing. Not much I could have done there really. Now don't get me wrong, because this surprised me. I wasn't expecting to get it 2 games in a row, which was obviously fun, and it's Simposter again. That's the what? I think that's the 4th time in about 5 games. At this point I was trying to vent just to try and keep myself moving about a bit, but I wasn't expecting to get it again, and especially not Simposter, because man, he had it too many times. It was almost some sort of bug in the game, I think. So you can see me acting quickly there to try and get a kill on the board. Now creeping up silently on orange, there we go, time to get out of here. So obviously we're going to vent and we are suddenly going to appear on the corridor. Let's keep going. In the end, I did barely anything in this round, and in the end, killed the game off. I'm sorry Sparks, but it had to be done. I know you believed me in the comments when I said it wasn't me, but I was just trying to cover myself up. And it had to be done, and in the end that means we win. But apart from that, I was rubbish as imposter in that game. I didn't nearly do enough. Getting into this game then, the final game of today's video, I was hoping to actually do alright and do something decent, so I was trying to get on with my tasks as quickly as I possibly could, obviously to give me a decent chance. So obviously the lights went, and obviously, you know, I was just going to casually go and fix them, and just doing my duty out for my team, and then in the end, oh brilliant, yeah, that happened. So I was just kind of going to get reported then. So there we go, that's me out of the game straight away. I might as well finish the video here. But no matter what I said to my team on the call, the final game ends in a defeat. So our team couldn't win that time, which is very unfortunate. Anyway everybody, that just about concludes today's video on Among Us with my friends. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel. All the support you can give me massively helps me out. Whether you leave a like or whether you're subscribed to my channel, it's really appreciated. So please do get subscribing if you're not already, because it massively helps me out, like I say. Please don't forget also you can follow me on social media by means of Instagram, and you can also join my Discord server. Both links for that in the description, and apart from that, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and goodbye for now.